If you're looking for some easy, light, enjoyable summer reading, we have the perfect segment for you because we are joined with best-selling author Veronica Roth of the young adult trilogy about a dystopian future turned blockbuster movie. We're talking about Divergent. There's a lot to discuss. We're talking about your newer book, 4. Now, I've read this book and the 3 Divergent books, so I'm familiar with the world that you've created. But for people that haven't read the books or haven't seen the recent movie, tell me a little bit about the world in which these stories take place.
Well, it's a dystopian, so futuristic and kind of messed up Chicago, in which society is divided into 5 factions, and each faction is dedicated to cultivating a virtue in its members. So selflessness, bravery, intelligence, honesty, and kindness are those virtues, and you kind of have to fit into one of those categories. But you get to choose at 16 which one you want to be a part of. But if you choose, you have to choose a different faction, you have to leave your family behind. So it's a pretty emotionally fraught decision. The books are just set in this world, and there's a lot of kind of seedy things happening under the surface that Triss and 4 discover as they get older. So.
Now, it seems like for people that read the Divergent books, there's a lot of great lessons about staying true to yourself, not following the crowd. Do you think these messages carry over with 4's story too?
I think so. His path is a little different from Triss's in that he makes his faction decision not based on some kind of inner, yearning to join Dauntless or be one of those brave people, but out of a desire to escape his terrible home situation. So I think his stories are a little bit more about reclaiming your identity from your parents. If your parents are really harmful people, and his story is also about healing and finding a way to be strong. And I think that it speaks to me, and hopefully it speaks to kids who are growing up in a little bit rougher situations.
Now, when I was reading these books, I had flashbacks of when I was a kid growing up reading The Giver and A Wind in the Door. Do you think that these sort of stories, these other worlds, just are easily relatable for people that are discovering reading or maybe getting into reading really for the first time?
I think so. I mean, even if the character is in a really fantastical situation, I feel like the emotional truth is there. Certainly The Giver, I mean, there's so much emotion and so much real experience just packed into that unfamiliar world. So you get the kind of flight of imagination of being in a world that's not real, but you also get the groundedness of the character, going through things that maybe you yourself have gone through in a less exaggerated way.
All right, my final question for you is catch us up to speed of what we can expect for the next Divergent movie, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are hardcore fans of these movies that are coming out.
Right. Yeah, they're shooting the sequel, Insurgent, right now. So for the next few months, they'll be shooting it, and then it will come out in March of next year. So pretty excited. All
right, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Veronica. And again, if you are looking for a nice, enjoyable, easy summer read, or maybe you're a fan of the Divergent series and want a little bit more of the world that you've come to love, you have to check out 4.